Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Dave here. Thank you so much for coming by Surviving New England. I got a stat for you that just may blow your mind. This is crazy stuff. And of course, it's about our power grid in this country. There are officials that say if the power went out for an extended period of time, we'll say a year, that 90% of the population of the United States would perish. 90% would die just because you can't flick a light switch on, because your refrigerator doesn't work. That is an amazing stat. So I'm going to give you a little bit more to scare the bejesus out of you. So the experts predict an EMP strike across the nation would ultimately lead to the demise of 90% of the population. And this is kind of, if the U.S. goes dark for a year, you would think other nations would follow. But let's just start there. There are 325.7 million people in the United States as of 2017. 90% of that number is 293 million people. Wrap your mind around that. Something as simple as power. 90% of the population, 293 million people, would not make it 1 year. Let's go global. Currently, right now, as of 2018, May, the population on Earth is 7.5 billion people, with a B. That means in the event of a grid down situation for an extended period of time, we'll say a year, 12 months, 675 billion people will perish in just 12 months of a power failure. I mean, think of that. 90% of the population of the globe in a global power outage will not survive 12 months. That is an insane thought. So let's do some numbers. 90% of 7.5 billion on the planet, 7.5 billion, 90% is 675 billion people. Are you on that list? I bet you I am. I mean, wake up is what I kind of want to say. And I bet you a lot of you guys are already awake, so I don't mean to kind of be like that. I'm not trying to, to lecture anybody. But I want, when you put numbers on something as serious as this, that 90% of the population of the globe cannot survive without power, that is a sobering statistic. Just from the simple lack of electricity. That's amazing how plugged in we are in our society, anyways, in the United States. It's scary. With this generation now, today, right? They turn a light switch on and bam, lights are on. They've got power, they got their video games, they have food, internet, heat, air conditioning, iPhones. I mean, but no one, or a few of this generation, and mine as well, and I speak of mine as well, I'm 49 years old, could grow a tomato plant or a corn field or cabbage, lettuce. Do you know how? If you do, you're one of the fortunate ones, and kudos to you. Me personally, I don't have a garden. I stockpile freeze-dried foods and water filters and first aid materials, guns, ammunition. And I'm not saying I have guns and ammunition. We'll keep that cloudy for now, right? But what a sobering stat that is, to think that. So the way I look at it is I kind of break it down. Imagine the first month without power. In your town or city, thousands will die just in that 1 month. Now go expand that a little bit, right? Expand that to 4 months without power. So if 90% of the country would not survive a power outage in 12 months, we'll say 4 months without power. You're talking like half the population of the country, of the United States, or 40% of the United States would not survive 4 months without power. with something as simple as power, which it seems simple. You just flick a switch. You pay the bill, you flip a switch. You pay the bill, you turn your oven on. You pay the bill, your food is refrigerated. I have this thing. I look into this stuff. And I'm going to say one thing that we cannot do without. If you have any idea of how to preserve meat, salt. Salt will be like gold. In a SHTF situation, salt is huge. Now, this is not a new thing for me. I've always known this about salt, that you can cure food with salt, preserve it, and it lasts much longer than it could without. I mean, if you have no power, you have no refrigeration, you have no way you can kill the biggest deer that you can find, and you and your small family of 3 could survive off that for days, a week. But that meat will go bad unless you smoke it or cure it somehow. But I want you guys to think about how global that is, that if just the power grid, and our power grid is so susceptible to failure, and we have no backup. There is no backup for our power grid in this country. The United States of America has no backup plan for this. We saw that in the blackout of back in the day. I forget the date, and I apologize. Then the blackout in New York City, what was that, 1978 or 79 or something like that? And it was only like 29 hours or something. There were people rioting and looting and killing each other. Or I shouldn't say that, but looting and freaking out. No power. No power draws people out of their homes, for sure. I know from experience, being in New England, there are power outages during a nor'easter or a snowstorm where you could lose power for a day or two. The first thing that happens, you've got no TV. Most people don't read anymore. I enjoy to read and write, so that would take up a couple of hours. But people leave their homes at that point and get bored really fast. Boredom is not good. That's like a devil's tool right there. If you don't have something to fill your time, you're in trouble. And I am just saying, think about that. How could you get prepared for such a thing like that? And I want to say we're overdue for it. And I don't want to, come out here with like this fear porn or anything like that about trying to scare everybody. I just want you to wake up. Knock, knock, knock. Wake up. If your refrigerator or kitchen is only full with a week's worth of food, you're one of that 90% that's not going to make it. And you might get killed by your neighbor because he wants to live that extra week. And it's a serious thing, guys. Please take it in mind. And I spread this word because the more people that are prepared, the more people that won't be knocking down my door. And I'm not to say I can make it 6 months to a year. But be prepared. Get ready for something like that. Because as always, guys, you'd rather have it and never, ever need it than need it desperately and not have it. Thank you guys for coming by for this short video, and I'll see you on the next one.